In this video, we're going to have a look at reading and naming notes in the bass clef. The bass clef is a symbol that is written on a stave. The stave is a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces that we use to write music. So what a bass clef does is it allows us to read notes of a very low pitch for instruments like a bassoon and a cello. There are many other instruments that also use the bass clef for their music to be written on because they have a low pitch. We're now going to take a look at some of the notes we can find written in the bass clef. These aren't all of them, there are more, but we're going to start on middle C and work our way backwards towards a low F. We only use the letters A to G to label our notes. And when it's written out all together like this, it seems a little bit overwhelming, but there are simple ways that we can try and remember whether a note lives on a particular line or in a certain space. One of the notes that we learn in the bass clef lives above the stave and it gets its own special line, and its name is middle C. We're going to take a look at some sentences that can help you to remember space notes and line notes in the bass clef. The sentences are made up of either 5 words or 4 words, and the first letter of each word will then be the letter name of the note that you're looking to label or name. We always go from the bottom space or the bottom line and count upwards. First, we're going to take a look at the line notes in the bass clef. We start off at the bottom with G, and we work our way up to B, D, F, and A. The phrase or sentence that we can use to help us remember the notes in the bass clef on their lines is Gary Bax does funny acts. 5 words for the 5 lines that we have. Let's do a quick example on naming a line note in the bass clef. We first count which line our note is on. This note is on line number 3. We then say our phrase to find the 3rd word. And our phrase is Gary Bax does funny acts. And the 3rd word of the phrase is does. Does begins with the letter D, so that means the letter of the note on line 3 is D. Next, we've got space notes in the bass clef. The phrase all cows eat grass can be used to remember the space notes. There's only 4 words because there's only 4 spaces that we're going to label. Let's do a quick example on labeling a space note. Again, we start from the bottom and count upwards to see which space our note is in. This one's in space number 2. Then we say our sentence and we figure out what the 2nd word is. All cows eat grass. The 2nd word is cows. Cows begins with the letter C, so in our 2nd space in the bass clef, the note is a letter C. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed that there's too many notes to remember, simply use Gary Bax does funny acts to remember your line notes, and all cows eat grass to remember your space notes in the bass clef. So here is a quick exercise to practice naming your line notes in the bass clef. Try and name each note as quickly as you can. The answers will be shown, but if you need a bit more time to name your notes, pause once all the notes have been shown. And now a quick exercise on naming your space notes. Same thing, name them as quickly as you can, or pause the video if you need to, and think about the sentence, all cows eat grass, to help you label each note. Now there's a mixed exercise, both line notes and space notes. Pause if you need to once all the notes have been shown, and see how many you can get right. And just a little bonus question, can you name this note? Thanks for watching. I hope that this makes naming line and space notes in the bass clef a little bit easier.